Hey guys, welcome to our YouTube video on how to lubricate a spinning fishing reel. Here's Justin with the tips.
Okay, so here I have a little Shakespeare contender that I picked up today at Kobe Swap Meet, and I will be showing you guys how to lubricate it basically. It'll make it work much smoother. So you're going to want to have some grease and some oil. So hold those up for you, Ryan.
Hold that there 1 second, Justin. So guys, these are made by Berkeley. Like we said in the other video, really good company. General, they're really well all around. And that's reel oil and grease.
And I don't really think I'll be needing any grease for the spinning reel, so probably move that one out for today. And for the supplies, you're going to need some napkins just to wipe up any extra oil, and that way you don't get your surface dirty. And another thing I recommend is a Q-tip, like to spread oil in little places. And this is good for the grease too. Like I said, I don't really think I'll need this today.
And other things you guys could use is like WD-40. It's not going to be nearly as good.
Well,
obviously,
I would use like a more liquid form oil, like an all-purpose kind of oil, but like an aerosol, not an aerosol, like a liquid. That'll work good. Because when you spray it in, it moves it all throughout, and you're gonna have to wipe it off and all. But I ran out of that, so I'm just gonna use this for now. Okay, so dismantling your spinning reel. We'll start off with the spool.
So what Justin is taking off right now is the drag cap. That right there is what adjusts the drag. And drag is the part. Oh, it's kind of hard to explain it. It tightens the line to a certain extent, and depending on how much you tighten it, it makes it that much harder for the fish to pull out the line.
So if you set it to 5 pounds of drag, which you kind of got to feel for that, or use a digital scale or a drag setting scale. So, like I said, if you're setting it to 5 pounds of drag, the fish could only pull line if it was pulling with 5 pounds of force. Okay, so I got that one off. All you need to do is twist that one off so it's loose.
Guys, drag is really important. A lot of beginner fishermen don't know about this. But let's say you're using 10-pound line. If you have your drag set to the 20-pound line, your drag is going to break. Drag is there, or not your drag, your line is going to break. Sorry. But you want to set your drag so your line doesn't break. That's basically what it's for. Reels should have a smooth drag system. And without drag, it'd be really hard to catch some good fish.
Okay, so I just removed the handle, which is easy. All you have to do is twist off the little cap, which is either on the right or left side, which depends on how you actually fish, if you're right-handed or left-handed.
And guys, the good thing about spinning reels is you can put the handle on either side you want. So if you're left-handed, obviously you put it on the left side, right-handed, right side.
It's really easy. Okay, so after you have everything pulled apart, make sure you don't lose track of your stuff, because if you do, it's bad. So you're going to have your handle, the other thing in your handle that holds it in, your spool, and your cap, which is your drag.
And guys, if you're a beginner fisherman, you don't need to lubricate specifically. It's a good thing to do, but if you're not sure how to put stuff back the way you took them off or things like that, just don't do it. Maybe take it to a shop or something and they could do it for you. Pretty much. Keep your gear in good shape.
And basically, the reason you're going to want to oil gear is for freshwater, you're not really going to need to clean it off as much unless you're like really dirty or you fish in like brackish waters. But for saltwater, every time you go out and trip, you're going to need to clean off all your gear, else it'll rust, because saltwater is very corrosive.
Guys, a lot of fishermen are really lazy. They'll go on a saltwater trip and not clean their gear, and then it is basically crap after.
It gets rough, it breaks, because all the rust. It's not good. So just clean your gear. And since you clean your gear, you wash off some of the oil.
Eventually, we'll do a video on how to clean fishing gear after you use it, obviously.
Yeah, just the way we do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so oiling. We're going to start today in here. Seems like a good place to keep everything running smooth.
That little hole where he's putting it in is where the handle is. Basically, just squirt it anywhere that is metal and it's moving.
After you do that, you just put it back in. Take your cap, of sorts, and screw it back on. I just like to do that to make sure everything's running smooth. Not necessarily sure if you have to, but it's better to do it than not to do it. Okay, next we're gonna the free spool, sort of.
This is another thing about a spinning reel, guys, is the lock system. Some other beginner fishermen don't know what this is. And make sure when you set a rod down, let's say you're using bait or something, your rod or your reel should always be locked, basically. Which keeps it from spinning, from spinning. And you don't want it to spin because if you get a fish,
it'll just it'll start taking line, and you can get a bird's nest on a spinning reel, which is very shameful.
It's really bad. Just
don't
keep
do it.
Keep your thing locked. And that's what drag is for. It's there so you could keep your thing locked, and it'll set the hook in the fish's mouth.
Okay, so on your reverse for the handle, make sure you get some oil in there, and then you flip it on and off. If you notice, I did that while Ryan was talking, so I don't need to do that again. Okay, so next off, we have here underneath the spool. I like to drip some line in here. Looks like it's pretty important because it probably is. Get some in there, and then you're just gonna want to turn it so it goes inside. Get it nice and oiled up. Maybe put on another drop, and do that again.
And guys, some of the gear we have, I own personally some really cheap gear, and it could be a 1-ball bearing fishing reel, and we'll turn it into something that feels like a 3-ball bearing fishing reel by doing this. If you do it well, it'll make it much smoother, and it's just great.
And I'm just moving this around so that the oil moves around and gets in all the little gears and bits. Okay, after that, I like to put some oil on the thing that your drag cap tightens onto. Just keep it nice and smooth, that way it doesn't rust in there or anything. And you can set your drag more accurately, so I presume. Just get it all in the gear.
And guys, for fresh water, then again, you don't really have to do it, but make sure, especially all the metal pieces, make sure you wipe them off, dry them, wash them, use soap. Just make sure they're clean so they don't rust. It's really bad to have rusty fishing gear. When I was more of a beginner, I treated my gear like dirt, and they all rusted up on me, and the reel wouldn't even turn anymore. It's pretty bad.
It's a sad thing, honestly. It hurts me sometimes when I see gear at like a swap meet, for example, and then when I try and turn it, it just... You know what I mean.
So, basically, that's how you lubricate a spinning reel, guys. Make sure you clean off all the extra grease and all that stuff. And there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and check in for our next video. Thank you.